judge wisely. In John 7:24, Jesus corrects the religious leaders who condemned him for healing on the Sabbath. He ends by saying, "Do not judge according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment." This in no way conflicts with Matthew 7:1, where Jesus says, "Judge not, that you be not judged." In that particular passage, in Matthew 7, Jesus is warning that the same standard we use in judging people will be the standard that is applied to us. We cannot live in the world without making judgments. That is, declaring what is right from what is wrong. Our task, therefore, in making judgments has several facets that I want us to consider. When it comes to our making judgments, first of all, we should be careful not to rush to judgment. We live in a time when people are always on the lookout for new things to talk about. We constantly refresh our social media accounts, our news sites, and such, because we want to be up to date. We don't want anyone to know something that we don't already know and say, "Oh yeah, I knew about that 8 minutes ago." The first time we hear about something that is news or gossip, sometimes it's the same thing, we feel the need to have an opinion, to make a judgment. But is that necessary? People can be destroyed through mere waves of popular opinion. Look at the times when Jesus was persecuted, or when Paul was persecuted in the book of Acts. It's usually by someone stirring up ongoing popular opinion quickly against him. So when it is needed, we should be cautious and patient in our judgment. Don't judge by just what you see on the surface. Second, judge when it is necessary, not when you feel like it. Most of the things we encounter in life, especially when we can read about anything happening anywhere in the world, most things, frankly, are not our business. We can't possibly get all the facts needed to make an accurate judgment on these things. Be content to forego judgment when it has nothing to do with you. Lastly, apply biblical standards of justice, not your own personal standards. Our emotions run hot at times. There are plenty of things that we must make a decision on, that where we must differentiate right from wrong. It's easy for us to satisfy our own personal standards because we have ways that we want things to be done. We have our own personal ideas and we want vindication. This is what the religious leaders were doing when they criticized Jesus healing on the Sabbath. They wanted him, that technically they wouldn't have cared if he healed. They just didn't want him to heal when it wasn't according to their time. Even when it is necessary, we must apply God's eternal law to judgment rather than our own. Again, the concept is inescapable. We fail in our work if we refuse to make judgment, but we must do so not in a hasty manner. We must not judge the things that do not pertain to us, and we must use God's holy standards when we apply His Word. As